Stanford just released the most comprehensive annual report on the state of AI. It took me 3 hours to read. I'm going to give you the 10 most important things in it in 12 minutes. Every year, Stanford University releases what I consider the most credible, most comprehensive snapshot of where AI actually stands. Not hype, not PR from AI companies, independent academic research covering everything. Capability, adoption, economics, environmental impact, workforce effects, geopolitics. The 2026 report dropped this week. It is dense, it is long, and buried inside it are numbers that completely change the picture of what is happening with AI right now. I am going to give you the highlights, the stats that stopped me cold, the findings that challenge common assumptions. Let's go. Let's start with how fast AI is spreading, because the number here is genuinely staggering. Generative AI reached 53% population adoption within 3 years. 3 years. The personal computer took over a decade. The internet took about 7 years. The smartphone took roughly 5. 53% of the human population now uses generative AI tools. That is not projected. That is already true. And the value those users are getting is equally dramatic. The report estimates $172 billion in value annually to US consumers. And the median value per user tripled between 2025 and 2026. Not doubled, tripled in 1 year. Here is the nuance though. Adoption correlates strongly with GDP per capita. Richer countries adopt faster. Singapore is at 61%, the UAE at 54%, the US, which you'd expect to lead, ranks 24th globally at 28.3%. That is a surprisingly low number for the country that builds most of the frontier models. Now the uncomfortable part, because for all the capability gains, the report is direct about the environmental cost. And the numbers are severe. Training Grok 4 alone produced 72,816 tons of CO2 equivalent. To put that in terms you can picture, that is approximately the same emissions as driving 17,000 cars for an entire year. For one model, one training run, AI data center power has risen to 29.6 gigawatts globally. That is roughly the amount of electricity needed to power the entire state of New York at peak demand, just for AI. And then there is water. Running GPT-4o may consume more water annually than the drinking needs of 12 million people. Through cooling systems and hydroelectric power generation, these are not projections, these are current figures. The environmental bill for AI capability is real, it is large, and it is already here. One of the most politically significant findings, the US no longer has a clear AI lead over China. The race is tied. US and Chinese models have traded places at the top multiple times since early 2025. In February, DeepSeek matched the top US model. As of March 2026, the best American model leads by just 2.7%. 2.7%? The US still produces more top-tier models and patents. China leads in publication volume, patent output, and industrial robots. Perhaps most concerning, the flow of top AI talent into America is dramatically slowing. The US has the most AI researchers, but its ability to attract international talent is weakening. The report is clear, AI's impact on employment is no longer a prediction, it is a present reality. Young workers are being hit first. Entry-level positions in writing, coding, analysis, these are the roles most affected. These are the jobs new graduates use to build skills. They are contracting. On the education side, 4 out of 5 students use AI. But only half of schools have AI policies, and just 6% of teachers say those policies are clear. We are training a generation to use AI without a framework for what that means. That is a tension nobody has resolved. I want to end on the finding in the report that I genuinely did not expect, and that I think deserves more attention. Despite the progress and adoption numbers, the US ranks 24th globally in generative AI adoption among its own population. 24th. A country that spends more on AI than the rest of the world, that hosts top models. Its citizens are using it less than Singapore or the UAE. My raid. It's a mix of privacy concerns, institutional resistance, and a stratified tech culture. Skeptical non-adopters versus enthusiasts. Whatever the reason, there is a gap between the country building the AI and the country using it, and that has implications. The Stanford AI Index is data, not sales. In 2026, AI is the fastest adopted tech in history, delivering value at a massive environmental cost. It's a geopolitical race closer than the US admits, affecting jobs, while education institutions haven't figured it out. I want to hear from you. Which of these findings surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments. Subscribe for honest data-first AI coverage every week. See you next time. That's all, folks.